Hello my friends, welcome back to Keto in the Chaos. My name is Tammy and on this channel I like to share all my tips and tricks on how I lost 200 pounds without bariatric surgery and how you can be successful on your own weight loss journey. So if that's what you're looking for, don't forget to click the subscribe button and ring the bell for more videos like this one to inspire you to get started. My top 3 tips. Hello everyone, welcome back to this week's video. I'm so excited to be starting another education moment series with you. I haven't done anything like this for a few years now, and I feel like I've come so far in my knowledge of weight loss and how to accomplish it that it is time for me to make a new how-to weight loss series. I have gone back and forth and debated with myself quite a bit of whether or not I should completely revamp my entire channel and call it something else and start over with a different brand. And I've gone back and forth with that because a lot of people give me a hard time because I am not currently, or not usually even, eating in ketosis or are worried about keto in any way. But I have decided I'm going to go ahead and keep my name for a couple of reasons. Number one, because I did lose all of my weight using a ketogenic diet. That is how I lost the weight. It's how I know how to teach to lose the weight, and I still feel like it is the best way to lose weight. Now, you may not have to agree with me, but I'm going to teach how to lose weight on keto here. Do I know other ways to lose weight, and will I talk about those? Yes, probably. So if you're here looking for just keto information, maybe it's not your best source of information. But if you're here just looking to lose weight, I'm your girl. So stick around, this is gonna be the video for you. So in this video, I'm gonna be talking about my top 3 tips for weight loss for 2022. And of course, if it's only about calories in, calories out, why keto? So I'm going to address that in this video. Those 2 things are top of the list and on my mind for the beginning of this educational series, and I hope that you will enjoy it. If you do, I hope that you'll stick around for more great videos and join our family here on Keto in the Chaos. All right, so let's get into it. Tip number 1, keto. That is my tip number 1. And I know that there's a lot of ways to lose weight, and I know there's a lot of diets out there, and there's a lot of pills, and there's a lot of people talking, and there's a lot of you must exercise and go crazy and eat nothing, and then you will lose the weight finally in 2022. And that is not what you're gonna find here. Will I tell you how to lose weight fast? Yes, absolutely. Do you have to lose weight fast? No, you do not. Is it better for you to lose weight fast? Not necessarily. So, number 1 is keto. And if calories are the only thing that matters, why keto? That is the subject of the first tip that I have for you on how to lose weight in 2022. Number 1 reason, the reason that I feel like keto is the most beneficial way to lose weight is that when you get into ketosis, you have extreme, and I mean extreme, appetite control. Appetite suppressant. In fact, most of the time when beginning a ketogenic diet, people will have a very difficult time eating the amount of calories that they have set out to eat. It's better than a diet pill. It's healthier than a diet pill. It's easier than a diet pill. It works super fast, and it works for pretty much everyone. When you're eating in a calorie deficit, generally it's not fun. Right? I mean, who wants to be on a diet? You feel tired, lethargic, miserable, hungry, worn out. And then you're all supposed to be like also doing HIIT training and running and, going to the gym and and building your muscles and doing everything all at once, right? Wrong. Wrong. That's the problem, is that everybody like dives in headstrong and they're just like, I'm gonna do this thing, and they don't think about how in 6 weeks they're gonna be like, I can't do it anymore, I'm gonna eat all of this food on Super Bowl Sunday and I'm giving up on my diet for the rest of the year. We'll try again in January. That's the reason people fail. They make it too hard. It does not have to be that hard. The nice thing about keto is it's extremely satisfying. Extremely appetite suppressant. It really helps you to be able to eat less food. Also, another great benefit of ketosis is the mental clarity. For me, a lot of the problem I had with trying to figure out how to lose weight is that I just felt like there was just so many voices in my head, and my head couldn't organize things, and I couldn't focus, and I couldn't see clearly. And all of a sudden, 2 weeks into keto, I went, oh, I can see, I can focus, I can organize, I can meal plan, I can track my food. It was like this switch flipped. Now, I don't know if that works the same way for every single person in the whole world, but for most people, you're going to have a clarity when you get into ketosis that helps you to think more clearly. And if you're like me and everything was just like, I'm eating to survive, I'm almost 400 pounds, but I'm eating to survive, ketosis was the switch that helps me be able to see clearly what I needed to do. Also, when you're in ketosis, especially if you've been doing it longer than 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to become what they call fat adapted. And what that means is that your body learns to fluidly go in and out of burning body fat to dietary fat, body fat to dietary fat. And so you just feel zen. It's a very calming feeling. It's a very comfortable feeling. It goes along with the mental clarity, and you just kind of feel, and it's a good feeling. I mean, let's be real. I love that feeling of ketosis. Why am I not still in ketosis? Well, we can go into that in a little while, but for all intents and purposes, if you're going into this to lose weight, keto is a great way because of these reasons. But these reasons don't last forever. And they are benefits of ketosis, but there are benefits of being out of ketosis. There also are downfalls to being in ketosis. Number one is that you lose lean mass more quickly. A lot of people will claim that that's not true, and they'll say that you can fast for weeks and you won't lose muscle because your body does all these sciencey things. But the real science, the science that is actually double-blind studies with human beings that put on calories and protein equated diets, say that you lose more lean mass when you're in ketosis, and also that you don't lose any more weight than people who did carb diets with low calories. So don't be fooled. Ketosis isn't a magic pill. It isn't like just taking a diet pill. Well, it is, because it gives you that appetite suppressant. But it's not a magic quick fix. You can't eat gobs and gobs and gobs of fat and lose weight. Fat is very high in calories. You have to think clearly about how you're going to divide out your macros. You only need to decrease your carbs in order to enter ketosis. You do not even have to test positive on a stupid ketone meter or stick. Do not bother with that. You don't need those in order to feel the benefit of appetite suppressant and mental clarity and zen. I know, because I didn't test. I ate little fat, a lot of protein from day one, and I still got the benefit of ketosis. Whether or not I tested positive on a stick or a ketone meter is aside from that point. You do not have to chase ketones in order to have these benefits. So that's the reason I do keto for weight loss, is because it makes you be less hungry and makes it so you can do it longer, so that you can get a more sustained calorie deficit for a longer period of time. But also, you do risk losing your lean mass in the process, which if you aren't eating a lot of protein to mitigate that, that can be bad. That can be bad, especially if you're over 60, you need to focus on your protein. Okay, so that leads me to tip number 2, which is, you guessed it, protein. Protein is the number one thing that you need to focus on if you want to lose weight. I'm going to say it again. Protein is the number one thing that you need to focus on if you want to lose weight. Protein. Did you hear me? Protein, not fat. Protein. I get a lot of flack on my channel for choosing to eat processed foods. Processed foods is way less important than protein. However you can get your protein in is how you should get it in. And if it's from a processed food source like Built Bars or Quest shakes or Premier protein shakes or powders like Keto Chow or whatever, those are all processed foods. It's just whey protein. There's nothing wrong with whey protein. Whey protein can't hurt you. Whey protein cannot stop you from losing weight. Eating whey protein is not bad for you. The only thing that the reason that people don't like when people eat whey protein products is because, get this, they taste like bad foods. Bad foods. Ooh, bad foods. What are bad foods anyway? Are there any bad foods? I mean, poison. Probably you shouldn't drink that. I mean, alcohol, probably not the best choice. I mean, let's be real. But whey protein, is it going to kill you? No. Is it going to build lean mass? Yes. Is it good for you? Yes. Yes, it is, friends. Yes, it is. Unless you have a dairy allergy or some kind of other thing that makes it so you cannot eat whey protein, you can eat it. I know, shocking. It's shocking. Processed and everything still doesn't have a lot of calories. And when it comes to losing weight, calories are king. And you know what? If you can eat a chocolate Built bar and it will stop you from eating a Snickers bar, guess what? That's a win. And I am tired of defending my processed food on my channel, but I'll tell you what, without my processed keto foods, I would never have made it to losing 200 pounds. Not in a million billion years. I like sweet food. I also am coming off of an uncontrollable, insatiable desire to eat everything. Mostly carbs because the carbs came with the fats, you know, donuts and cookies, candy, chocolate, all that yummy stuff. I love that stuff. None of those things are bad food. Common misconception people have is that food has morality somehow, that it's good or bad. It's not. It's just food. It's not good, not bad. You're not good or bad if you choose to eat it. It's just a choice. It's just food. If you can wrap your brain around that little tidbit, you're going to be happy. A lot happier. So, yes, number 2, protein, protein, protein. Get your protein from lean protein sources. You don't want to be eating ribeye steaks every night. Or, you know, even chicken thighs with the skin on. Or, you know, short ribs. You want to stick to lean proteins like chicken breast, turkey, poultry, fat-free cheese. Yes, even if it has carbs in it. Or at the very least, low-fat cheese. Egg whites is a great way to get in some extra protein. I just saw this recipe for making egg white marshmallows. I think I need to have that in my life. That might happen sometime soon if I get the gumption to cook, which I don't enjoy doing. Whey protein, Built bars, keto chow, perfect keto. I have like a million listed in the about section below of the ones I like that are my favorite. One that I'm not affiliated with that I really like that you can get on Amazon is Ascent. I really like that one. There are lots of different flavors and you can mix the protein powder with yogurt and make a protein bomb sludge that is just like, tasty. And guess what? Protein, hardly any calories. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So if you want to lose weight, you should be getting 40% of your calories from protein. How many calories to eat? Well, when I first started out, I went to a group and they taught a certain way and they were based on height, and that's currently how I am teaching in my group, is because it's just easier, and it was based on average lean body mass, which meant that I was eating 1,266 calories as a 374-pound woman. To say I dropped weight fast is an understatement. It literally just fell off of me. And I was thrilled, because when you are that obese, losing weight that quickly, first of all, it isn't as dangerous to your lean mass because your body has so much fuel to use. And secondly, you just really need to get that weight off quick because it could really hurt you. You could be like me where you feel like you're on death's door and you're afraid that your kids are going to find you in the tub and not be able to get you out. I mean, I had daily fears of dying and my kids having to deal with my giant body. It was terrifying. I do not think about those things anymore. I think in a completely different world from that person. It's hard to even believe that was me. Look at that woman. This was right after I had my baby. Right after I had my last baby, right before I went into the hospital with horrible pleurisy where I almost died. I couldn't breathe. They had to put me on Lasix. I had gotten so big, I don't even know how much I weighed. I was bigger than I ever had been in my entire life. And this, I think, actually this picture is after I got from the hospital. If I'm thinking right. And I already had the Lasix taken off of me. So that was actually smaller than I ever been. I wish somebody had taken a picture of me. It was scary. I went from being that person to being the person who thinks about putting makeup on. I used to never wear makeup, hardly at all. And now I'm obsessed with buying all the makeup. Like my makeup? It's cute, huh? Okay, anyway, that's a side note. How to determine your calories is kind of a tricky situation. So I went based on that chart, and you can do that too. I have a chart like that at my group. It's linked in the About section. If you do not have Facebook, you can email me at ketochaos@gmail.com and I'll send it to you free of charge. It hasn't been updated in a while. It's based on average lean mass, and it will give you a deficit no matter who you are, because it's like bargain basement calories. You may not want bargain basement calories. So a couple of ways that you can figure out how many calories you should eat. Number one, you can decide on your dream goal weight that you'd like to get to. Okay, so say your dream goal weight is like 150 pounds seems to be like the common goal weight that most women have, or at least that they think it's unreachable. Some of them end up getting past that. I never even got to that. That was my original goal weight, and then I got down to 170s, and I was like, yeah, this is plenty of weight loss. I didn't want to be any smaller. In fact, you can see me at 190 right now. After getting my skin removal, I look pretty good, and I like it. So it's kind of hard to imagine losing 40 pounds. But, so for example, if you wanted to do that, you would multiply 150 by 12 to get your maintenance calories for 150 pounds, which is about 1,800 calories. So as you can see, my goal weight, if I had eaten 1,800 calories, I still would have lost weight fast. Maybe not quite as fast. Maybe I wouldn't have lost 100 pounds in 8 months like I did, but I still would have lost plenty of weight really quickly, and maybe it wouldn't have been as hard. But it's how I chose to do it, as I didn't know any better. So for you, if you are obese and you want to try doing it this way, you can start with 1,800 calories and do it for 90 days or so, readjust, right? It gives you place to go. And when it stops working, it gives you a place to go. Because if you start out at 1,200, by the time you get like done and or your body stops losing weight, there's not very many things you can tweak to get that kicked in the butt again. I have all these tips and tricks that I've given on my channel of how, but honestly, if you just start out at a higher calories and it's not as extreme, you're gonna have a better go of it all the way around. So you can do that, or go ahead and start this week and track your normal food intake. What you normally would eat on a daily basis, every time you put something in your mouth. Oh, okay, I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna put this in my Chronometer app, that's the app I use, and see how many calories you are currently eating right now. Do it for a couple weeks even and see if your weight is going up or down. If you were currently on an upward spiral, maybe you're eating too many calories for maintenance. But to figure out what your maintenance calories would be is if you're not losing weight or gaining weight and you're eating that many calories, that's basically where you're at. So if, for example, you were eating 2,500 calories, your weight hadn't really changed in a while, and you eat the same kind of things all the time, you can get an idea about 2,500 calories is probably your current maintenance. Now, if you're almost 400 pounds like me, it's going to be way higher. And if you're less weight, it's going to be way lower. Or if you're shorter, it's going to be way lower. So this is just a general idea. And then you're going to want to cut your calories by 20 to 30%. Anywhere in between 500 and 750 calories for a 2,500 calorie maintenance person. So honestly, an easy way to do it is just to figure out where you're at and subtract between 5 and 750 for any weight. Honestly, you don't have to be too crazy about it. It doesn't have to be exact, okay? And then take that number and make 10% of that in grams be a protein, which will give you 40%. So for example, if you're doing the 1,800 calories, you're going to eat 180 grams of protein or more. And then the rest is going to be fats and under 20 net carbs if you're going to do the keto way, or you're going to let it fall where it may if you're just going to do the calorie deficit way. Does that make sense? So for example, if you're doing, like me right now, I'm doing 1,500 calories. So my goal is to get a minimum of 150 grams of protein a day. That's my number one most important goal. That is the reason I eat 0% fat Greek yogurt. That is the reason that I eat Built Bars, because they're super easy and tasty ways to get that protein in. You can also use all of those other protein sources that I mentioned before and many others that exist that I didn't mention. And I have videos on how to track your macros and how to figure all that out or whatever. You decide how many meals you want to do. You decide how often you want to eat. But every single day, you're going to get that 10% grams protein. So if you're doing 1,200 calories, 120 grams of protein. If you're doing 1,300 calories, 130 grams of protein. If you're doing 2,500 calories, 250 grams of protein. Right? You see where I'm heading with this? That's going to ensure that you have a lot of protein to help your body to mitigate that muscle loss that you get when you're in a calorie deficit, number one, and when you're in ketosis, number two. So that is my number 2 important tip for how to lose weight, protein. Number 3, stop beating yourself up. Stop it. This is not an all or nothing situation. This is the rest of your gosh dang life situation. You can't figure this out in 5 seconds. You're not going to figure this out today and be perfect tomorrow and lose all the weight. I did it about as perfectly as you can possibly do it. And look at me still sitting here, 190, still talking about weight loss, still working on it. Why? Because you're never, ever, ever going to stay the same weight for a very, very, very long time unless you are meticulous about knowing your maintenance and meticulous about tracking your food. And who's going to be like that forever? Not me. And I didn't want to be in ketosis forever because, as you'll look on the other videos on how to get into ketosis, I have a whole beginner's playlist. I will link it at the end of this video. Electrolytes are really hard to manage on keto, and for me, it was nearly impossible. After a certain amount of time, I just couldn't stand the ups and downs on the scale of water weight gain and loss, and I couldn't stand the way I would go from mental clarity to exhaustion, and I couldn't ever seem to keep my electrolytes completely balanced, and I took so much. And I could never seem to find that golden spot. Now, when I was first losing weight, I wasn't really focused on that, and I did my best, and I didn't feel terrible. I don't know if it's something about getting to under 200 pounds, but once I got under 200 pounds, keto became a lot harder. I had to really change up how I do things and how I think and what I do. Going on the reverse diet really helped me. I got brave and put carbs back in my diet and realized I could eat them without binging and all of these wonderful things that are helpful further down your journey. But number 3 tip of the day is stop beating yourself up. What if you set out today and you're like, by the afternoon, gave in and decide to have a chopped piece of chocolate? Well, if it wasn't a Built Bar, should you be beating yourself up? No. You need to stop doing that. So what? You ate a piece of chocolate. Track it, move on. It's all data. It's all important to, as long as you track it and keep that record, you'll know what you need to do to change things to make it work better. Number 1, keto for appetite suppressant. Number 2, protein with a calorie deficit, but protein. I totally didn't even mention that your body burns more calories while eating protein, and it's really hard for your body to store your protein as fat. So that's why it's so awesome. And it is bigger in calories. You get more of it. It fills you up. Protein. Woo, for the win. Okay, number 2, protein. And number 3, stop beating yourself up. Weight loss is a mental game. You will learn that. It's not easy, and it's not something you can change overnight. But if I could do it, anybody can do it. I freaking did it after having 9 children and homeschooling and running a photography business and being almost dead and so many things, and I still somehow make it. Oh, and let's not even go into the fact that I'm a dance mom of 5 competition dancers. If I can do it, you can do it. You've got this. Let's get it going. If you want my help, join us on the Facebook group for free, and I will help walk you through the steps. If you need my chart, send me an email, ketochaos@gmail.com. And if you want to support the channel in any way, all the information on how you can do that is in the About section below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. I'm excited about this new series, and we'll talk to you all again soon.